yeah, right. Big smile from Sunanda, and Leanne's going like, not really. I
What a
see.
terrible problem.
Yeah, that's right. Elizabeth, hello. And looks like Dottie there. Good. How's everybody doing? It's a dreary cold. It was supposed to be 67 here. I don't think it got up to, if it got up to 60, I'd be amazed. It was dreary and cold. How's it in Austin? Did it calm down to like 85 or something?
Oh, yeah, no, it's about the same here in Austin. It's raining and in the 60s today.
Oh, I'd
It was
love,
lovely. We like it.
we would love to have some rain. We've had very,
Yeah.
very little. We've had very little. What's it like in Florida, Gunga?
I actually just checked to make sure I had the right numbers. It was 47 last night, which is really nice.
Wow.
My
Wow.
favorite. I love it when it's really cold. Well, that's my really cold.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. My niece in Minnesota, who gets below 20, 20 below, they have their shirt sleeves on at 47. They're outside. They're outside,
I
in their
have my
shorts.
big puffer Sherpa.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to. Okay, so Leanne, we're thrilled about you coming, especially during one of the busiest times ever where there's a lot of work for you to do. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thakur's Puja and Shiva Ratri. Oh, yeah. That's like high octane work. Good, good, good. Okay, so we are with Swami Saradananda, and on page 52, Krishna is at Transition House, and we are middle of page. The direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna alone knew the greatness of Holy Mother and recognized who she really was. Swami Shivananda, the president of our order, wrote to a disciple of Holy Mother, "The physical body of Holy Mother is no more visible to our mortal sight, it is true. But there is no doubt that her passing away fills her devotees with pain. But they should take comfort in the thought that Holy Mother was not an ordinary woman. She was neither a seeker after truth nor an illumined soul. She was a special manifestation of the eternally free universal Mother. She is one of the Divine Mother's beautiful expressions. She can be compared to 10 manifestations of the Divine Mother." There is a Dasha Vidya is what we all often, every day in the 10 aspects of Mother, every day in our puja, we offer flower to that aspect. So it's interesting that he says she can be compared to the 10 manifestations of the Divine Mother. In this age, the Mother has appeared in the world as Sri Sardamani Devi, her form made of the attributes of pure sattva, for the redemption of humanity and to help Sri Ramakrishna, the avatar of our age, in his divine mission. Those who have received her grace have fulfilled the purpose of life. They are blessed. They will certainly be able to see her at the moment they implore her with a longing heart to reveal herself to them by repeating her name, Mother, Mother. I request you not to give way to depression. When the earthly mother dies, her children cannot see her in spite of their cries. But that is not true in the case of this mother, the mother of the world, who has descended to the earth to lead her children to the abode of peace and freedom. The mother will grant her vision to a devotee if he cries to her in anguish. You are extremely fortunate because you have been initiated by her and received her grace. Whenever you pray to her with an importunate heart, being unable to bear the pang of separation, she will appear before you and console you. Believe me, it is true. The way you've expressed your sorrow to me, convey your sorrow to her, and you will be comforted. This is not a human affair. It is a supernatural affair, an act of God as a token of God's love. Therefore, I advise you not to lose heart. Have firm and unwavering faith. Let not your faith be shaken, even if the head be severed from the body, and the world reduced to dust in the twinkling of an eye. Always cultivate constructive thoughts and say to yourself, I am the Divine Mother's child. She has showered her grace upon me. What should I fear from the world? Why should I worry about my future? I am already free, and my freedom cannot be taken away even by death. Keep faith and have absolute trust in the Mother. I am not telling you all this just to console you. These words are unquestionably true. They have come from my heart and from the depths of my soul. What more can I say? Accept my sincere blessings. That Holy Mother may keep you in peace and grant you your heart's desire. This is my prayer. I'm really wondering about this letter because the letter says, Swami Shivananda wrote, he was president of the order, a great disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. When you read the gospel, he's Tarak in the gospel. He said he wrote to a disciple of Holy Mother, and here's this letter here. So I am wondering strongly if this letter it wasn't written to Swami Aseshananda, who was a disciple of Holy Mother. He was the attendant and secretary of Swami Saradananda, but he was a disciple of Holy Mother. So it's interesting. Of course, it's, who knows where he got the letter from, but it's right here. So if our editors, maybe Shelley Lowenkoff, who comes here on occasion, who helped edit this book, will remember. Anyway, it's an interesting thought. Before her passing, Holy Mother said to one of her disciples, "Don't worry when I am gone. There will be Sharat to look after you." The disciples of the Mother did indeed find a tower of strength in the Swami. The privilege of attending him helped fill the void in my heart for the loss of the person who was both my spiritual mother and my guru. Many women disciples of Holy Mother would come to the Swami in the late afternoon each day at the Udbodhan house for interviews and guidance. One woman devotee wrote, "Swami Saradananda has filled the void left by Holy Mother. We have lost a mother, but we have gained another mother in Swami Saradananda. Like Mother, he has been very compassionate to us, and we feel very close to him." 2 verses from Shankara's Crest Jewel of Discrimination describe Swami Saradananda and his service to others. There are pure souls who have attained peace and greatness. They bring good to mankind like the coming of spring. Having themselves crossed the dreadful ocean of this world, they help others to cross without any selfish motive. It is the very nature of these great souls to work of their own accord, to cure the troubles of others. Sarla Devi, she was a disciple of Holy Mother. She was also the first president of Sri Sardama. Sarla Devi wrote, "After the passing away of Holy Mother, Swami Saradananda would rarely leave Udbodhan. When lady disciples of Holy Mother would come to Udbodhan, Swami Saradananda would feel great joy. He would do everything in his power to make them feel comfortable, happy, and free, as Holy Mother used to do when she was alive. One day Swami Saradananda said to me when I went to see him in Udbodhan, 'It is the Mother who has given all of these responsibilities to me. I'm simply fulfilling her wish. Everything belongs to her. I take good care of Mother's children so that Mother will be happy.' Again, I have seen when the Swami would give initiation and his disciple would offer something substantial for the service of the Guru. He would invariably use it for Mother's work. Before initiation, if any student would ask about the things he should bring, the Swami would plainly say, 'Bring something for the worship of the Mother according to your means. That will be enough.' Any money that the disciple would give as an honorarium to the Guru, he would keep in the same box which he inherited from the Mother as a legacy, and which had belonged to her, and use it for Mother's worship and service at Jairambati. If he would receive cloth and other things, he would distribute it to the monks and the brothers of Holy Mother, just as Holy Mother used to do. If he received any money for his own personal needs, he would divide it in a threefold manner. One portion would be used for Sri Ramakrishna's service at Udbodhan, another portion would be for Holy Mother's worship at Jairambati, and the remaining balance would be used for his own personal needs. He would say this, 'I do this because the donors will be spiritually benefited if I offer the major portion to our Master and Mother and leave a small amount for myself.' This attitude was reflected in whatever he did. When Sarla Devi wrote to him from Komila in East Bengal, where she had gone as a teacher for the Sister Nivedita's girls' school, asking for his blessings, the Swami replied, 'I've emptied my purse to you. You've served Holy Mother very faithfully. You've received her affection and many kindnesses. Now try to realize her true nature, for then you will achieve everything in life. What a beautiful letter. Yeah, she had renunciation from a very, very young age, and then went to the Sister Nivedita school, and of course knew Nivedita, was with Nivedita, and then knew Christine and all those people, and then she she lived as a nun, and then when they founded Sri Sardamat, they made her the head, the Mataji, the president mother, and she gave initiation. Our nun who died years ago, Shuddhaprana, said that when she went to India, she was blessed by her, Sarala Devi, and then she said she just kind of went over her body like that, and she said the whole time she was getting this horripilations, she was such an extraordinary holy one. So that was wonderful reading her. And now we move on to chapter 6, which is Western Visitors. Any questions or comments about the section that we read yet so far? Nada? Because I can't see anything. I just see names. Okay. I'll just keep reading then. Western Visitors. During his presidency of the Ramakrishna Order, Swami Brahmananda delegated the responsibility of receiving Western visitors to Swami Saradananda. Maharaj knew that Swami Saradananda would be the most capable person to make the guests comfortable and to communicate to them the ideals of the Ramakrishna Order. He lived in the United States, as you remember, for a couple of years. His English was superb, and so he would be able to understand how, when the guests came, what their expectations would be, and then what problems they might encounter. And they always felt comfortable talking to him because they could understand him and he could understand them. The first visitor to Bellarmine was the famous French singer, Madame Emma Calvé, who had been instrumental in arranging for a trip of Swami Vivekananda to the Far East and to Egypt. Once Swamiji, in a casual remark, requested Madame Calvé to visit India. The pressing demands of her engagements in Europe and America prevented her from fulfilling his request during his lifetime. In 1901, deciding that the time had come to make good her promise, Madame Calvé arrived at Bellarmine with an interpreter. Swami Saradananda met her immediately and took her to the small shrine built in the memory of Swamiji on the actual spot where his body was cremated. Madame Calvé sat down in meditation posture and prayed before the engraved emblem of Swami Vivekananda. Accompanied by the interpreter and a lay disciple of Swamiji, they walked across the spacious lawn to visit the temple Swamiji built in honor of Sri Ramakrishna. After Madame Calvé paid her respects to Sri Ramakrishna, she said to Swami Saradananda, "Swamiji used to repeat a nice chant which starts, 'Lead us from darkness to light.' Would you kindly repeat the whole chant if you know it? I'm anxious to hear it." Immediately, Swami Saradananda, with a sonorous voice, chanted, "Asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya." Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. I'm wondering about the word translator, but of course she was French, so they needed someone to translate from French into English. Swami Saradananda's chanting brought back memories of Swamiji to Madame Calvé. She saluted the master, kneeling with her head bent low as they do in the Catholic Church. Then she stood and was about to leave when Swamiji's disciple requested her to sing a song as an offering to the master. Her magnificent voice charged the whole atmosphere with beauty. On their way to the door, Madame Calvé caught sight of the picture of Holy Mother and asked, "Who is she?" Swami Saradananda said, "She is the wife and spiritual companion of Sri Ramakrishna. We lovingly call her Holy Mother, Sangha Mata, the mother who supports and sustains our whole organization." At the request of Swamiji's disciple, Madame Calvé sang a rapturous song to please Holy Mother and to win her grace. In her book, My Life, Madame Calvé writes about her visit to Bellarmine. She wrote, "Years later, when I was traveling to India, I wished to visit the convent where the Swamiji had spent his last days. His mother took me there. I saw the beautiful marble tomb that one of his American friends, Mrs. Leggett, had erected over his grave. The monks of the Swami's Brotherhood received us with simple, kindly hospitality. They offered us flowers and fruits, spreading a table for us on the lawn beneath a welcome shade. At our feet, the mighty Ganga flowed. Musicians sang tunes in strange instruments accompanying plaintive chants that touched the very heart. A poet improvised a melancholy recitative in praise of the departed Swami. The afternoon passed in a peaceful, contemplative calm. The hours that I spent with these gentle philosophers have remained in my memory as a time apart. These beings, pure, beautiful, and remote, seemed to belong to another universe, a better and a wiser world. Lord Ronald Shea, the governor of Bengal, came to visit Bellarmont in 1919 on the public celebration of Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Swami Saradananda received the governor with due courtesy and honor. The governor showed an interest not only in the mission's secular activities, but he asked to see the temple. When Swami Saradananda and the governor reached the temple door, the Swami explained that devotees do not enter wearing shoes out of respect for the deity. The governor genially acceded to the custom, but unused to taking off his shoes in public, soon blundered into difficulties. Swami Saradananda bent down and unloosed the shoelaces himself and helped the governor remove his shoes. Standing before the portrait of Sri Ramakrishna in the shrine, Swami Saradananda explained to Lord Ronald Shea that monks came to the temple 3 times a day for silent prayer and meditation, and that the master's influence extended outside the temple as a fountainhead of all their public works and the source of their personal dedication. The governor then asked to see the place where the rich and poor ate together without distinction of caste, creed, or color. There's a parenthesis here. The Ramakrishna Mission's disregard of caste was a strong influence in freeing the country from the bondage to superstitious practices. The governor watched the preparation of the khichdi and a delicious sweet called bunde with interest. He inquired about everything he saw. Swami Saradananda explained that at the public celebration, thousands of people would be fed. However, the people came not only for food, but because they felt that Sri Ramakrishna would appear that day and accept their worship in his universal form as Jiva as Shiva, God in man. The impression that the visit made on Lord Ronald Shea was recorded in the anthology Sri Ramakrishna in the Eyes of Brahma and Christian Admirers. Associated with the monastic order, which consists of sannyasins and brahmacharis, is a mission. These twin organizations, standing for renunciation and service respectively, declared by the late Swami Vivekananda to be the 2 national ideals of India. The mission undertakes service of all kinds, social, charitable, and educational. The monasteries are dedicated to the perpetuation through their spiritual culture of the great ideal and revelation which Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa embodied in his life. One of these branch monasteries, the ashram of Mayavati, hidden away from the world in the vast labyrinth of the Himalayas, 50 miles northeast of Almora, is devoted exclusively to the study of Advaita Vedanta, leading to the knowledge of Brahman proclaimed by Shankara, the absolute, impersonal, and unconditional God, the material and efficient cause of the universe. Some of these men I have met at the Bellarmont, and having met them, I know it is for no colorless abstraction that they have renounced the world. Whether known as Saguna Brahman, personal God, or Nirguna Brahman, impersonal God, it is to them the sole reality, the ultimate goal towards which sooner or later all mankind must direct its steps. Well, that's quite something from Lord Ronald Shea. Another visitor was Mrs. Cook, an Englishwoman from a good middle-class family. I never met Mr. Cook, a high official of the East Indian Railway Company in India, but I have seen Mrs. Cook several times in Udbodhan. Whenever she would come, she would bring flowers, fruits, and candy in great abundance. Mrs. Cook was so charmed by the personality of Swami Saradananda that she wanted to take initiation from him. Seeing her earnestness mingled with sincerity, Swami Saradananda agreed to her request. An auspicious day was fixed, and Swami Saradananda gave her initiation after performing certain ritualistic ceremonies. Mrs. Cook loved and respected Swami Saradananda, just as a daughter would adore her noble father. She would do anything to please him. The Hindu ideal of motherhood of God appealed to her. Once she wrote a member of the order, "I always call Sri Guru Maharaj Mother. It seemed to be my national cry. I addressed my Swami in that way too. He has signed himself that. I know who he was and is. He could not hide it from me." Swami Saradananda was very fond of his Western disciple. He took special care not only of her spiritual well-being, but also of her physical health. Seeing that the hot climate of Calcutta had enervated her, the Swami advised her to go to Almora, a hill station in the Himalayas, noted for its beautiful climate. She followed his advice and recovered her strength. Yeah, the difference between Calcutta and Almora is like as big as you can get. It's like during the heat of those hot months, which is like April, May, June, April, May especially, you really got to get out of Dodge. It is so unbearable there. I've written letters to Mrs. Cook dictated by the Swami. He used to address her as Beatrice. That's so sweet. On 18th of August, 1925, Swami Saradananda wrote to her, and it was translated by Rosamond Gilder. Okay, Appleton, New York, 1922. The thing is, it is literally true, and I am finding it to be so every day at present, that we cannot do anything, however little or simple, unless the divine being wills it. So I will not try to explain matters. I've given you up entirely into the hands of the Master, and I am sure that he will lead you safely and surely in his own time to truth and peace everlasting. With my love and blessings to you always, yours affectionately, Saradananda. Mrs. Cook wrote the Swami, asking for advice about the training of her daughter Enid. The Swami replied, "We think we are loving without any selfish taint or hope of return, but deep within us there lurks the expectation that it should be returned, and we are quite at a loss when we find the case is not to be exactly up to our inmost wishes. To make our words move always in unison with our thoughts is the highest of attainments," Sri Ramakrishna said. And Jesus said, "Be ye therefore perfect, as your Father in heaven is perfect." Remember always that children have brought their own karma with their birth and will develop according to their own lines, and to hold before them the highest ideal by living the same is all that we can do to help them. Now, for our belief in warnings, in a general way, all of us believe in them, but in coming to practice it in our daily lives, we find it to be a very complex and a puzzling affair. So you see, it is not possible to lay down a general rule of conduct. We shall have to adapt ourselves to each individual case in deciding. The best we can do in such complex cases is what our Holy Mother said and used to do herself. Pray to the Lord and bring yourself to a perfectly unbiased mood, and then, thinking over the question, decide to do what flashes in your mind after prayer. This is very important. It's interesting to read it here. I've heard it also from other great souls when they say, "What do you do when you have to make a decision? You don't know what to do." And here it is right in print. What Holy Mother used to do herself. Pray to the Lord and bring yourself to a perfectly unbiased mood, and then, thinking over the question, decide to do what flashes in your mind after prayer. I've heard the first thought that comes after you've wholeheartedly emptied your mind, given the prayer what flashes, that's the path to take. Yours, with my love and blessings to you and your children always, yours affectionately, Saradananda. And then we come to a new chapter And we are coming, I think we ought to stop here because we're coming up to, oh no, there's a difference between this clock and my watch. Okay, we could do, are there any questions about any of this? Nine? Nicht? Okay, nada? Okay, then I will do another page. Leanne, you okay with that? One more page? Okay.
Just that you just read last, his
Yeah.
response to Mrs. Cook. I mean, I just, like you said, that was so moving to me.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, so
Yeah.
great. I'll just read another page, the first page of Caring for Others. Swami Saradananda was a wonderful nurse. He knew how to follow a doctor's instruction efficiently when caring for a patient. Just as important, he knew how to buoy up the spirits of those he cared for. The Swami sometimes sat up all night with sick patients who were hard to manage. He was always available for solving special problems, such as convincing patients they must take their medicine. Swami Chidananda, one of Swami Brahmananda's attendants, was brought to the Ubodan office for treatment when he fell ill. He refused the medicine, saying, "I will drink green coconut water and repeat the name of Hari." When Swami Saradananda heard that, he came to Chidananda's bedside and stroked his head gently. "Well, Chidananda, you can chant the name of Hari as much as you like, but coconut water you can't drink until your disease is cured. Now, you will have to take medicine. Otherwise, the doctor who is giving free service will not attend you." Chidananda took the medicine and was well in a few days. No treatment was too difficult or too disgusting for the Swami to attend to with his own hands. In the early days of the Alam Bazar monastery, when the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna were living together in great austerity, Swami Abhedananda had gone on pilgrimage to northwestern India. He had followed a conservative North Indian sadhu's custom of walking barefoot to all the holy places and returned to Alam Bazar with a nasty wound on his right foot. The doctor diagnosed it as infection caused by the guinea worm. Proper nursing was vital if Swami Abhedananda were to get well. He could easily lose his leg and quite possibly his life. I'm going to keep reading here. For 3 months, Swami Saradananda removed worms from the infection, washed the sore, applied ointment, and bandaged the foot. His unceasing care prevented the development of gangrene, and he kept Swami Abhedananda from becoming despondent by reminding him how Sri Ramakrishna maintained an inner calm despite the excruciating pain of his throat cancer. Years later, at the memorial held for Swami Saradananda, after the Swami Saradananda had Mahasamadhi, Swami Abhedananda said in his speech, "Brother Sarat, you are the giver of my life. How can I forget you? Please accept a few tears from my eyes in exchange for what you have done for me." Swami Saradananda believed the mind, as well as the body, must be cared for. Despite the many demands on his time, he helped Margaret Noble, the Irish devotee named Sister Nivedita by Swamiji, run a school for the education of Indian girls, which she founded in Calcutta with Holy Mother's blessings. He taught classes on the Bhagavad Gita and encouraged the school's teachers and students to come to Holy Mother for darshan and instruction and to gain spiritual benefit from doing personal service to her. The Swami also encouraged Sarla Devi, who later became Bharati Prana, to attend Lady Wellington Nursing School in Calcutta to become a qualified nurse. That was a big deal. Because at that time, for any good Hindu girl to touch body parts or any parts was a big. That's why all the nurses were almost always Christian. Good Hindu girls could not possibly do it because they were, fluids and parts of the body. It's just like you were supposed to be confined, kept behind the veil, all that sort of thing. For Swami Saradananda to have her go to nursing school to become a qualified nurse, that shows amazing broad-mindedness. When Golapma, a companion of Holy Mother, objected, there you come, to a Brahmin girl, she should not earn money, that was the least of it, the Swami pointed out that she was not going to nurse for the money, but to be able to serve the mother and her companions better. I'm going to keep reading. In her reminiscences, Bharati Prana wrote, I used to go to Holy Mother's house almost every day from Sister Nivedita's girls' school in Calcutta, where I was staying. I had retired from teaching. Swami Saradananda had arranged for my board and lodging with his own funds. One day I heard from Swami Saradananda that Satadal, the wife of Sachin, who was the grandson of Rani Aputya in Bengal, was very ill. Sachin and Satadal were both disciples of the Swami. One day Sachin came in and said to the Swami, the illness has taken a very serious turn. I would appreciate it if you would kindly come to our house once and bless Satadal. The next day, when I went to see him, Swami Saradananda said to me, well, I believe Satadal will get well this time. I asked the Swami, Maharaj, how can you tell that Satadal will get well? The Swami replied, when I went to see Satadal at her home, I saw Holy Mother in a vision placing Satadal's head on her lap, looking at her face with deep concern. Since Holy Mother was keeping Satadal's head on her lap and anxious about her, I feel confident that Satadal will be cured through Mother's grace. A day passed. The condition of Satadal became very grave. A medical doctor from Calcutta was called in. His judgment was the case is very serious and there's no hope. At the Udbodhan, Swami Saradananda was rubbing some oil on his body and was about to take a bath when Sachin came in, caught hold of his feet, and said in great despair, the famous doctor Nilratan Sarkar has pronounced the case to be hopeless. I'm in deep trouble. I have nowhere to go but you. Please help me. Hearing the words of Sachin, Swami Saradananda was deeply moved and looked at him compassionately. Sachin said, Maharaj, you will again have to come and see Satadal. At this, Swami Saradananda replied, what is the use of my going? Will it be of any avail? Please ask the priest to give you some holy water from the shrine. Call the Ayurvedic physician, Shamdas Kaviraj, and ask him to see the patient and treat her. Swami Saradananda quickly finished his bath. Before he sat for meditation, he said to his attendants, it is my wish that none of you should call me until I finish my meditation and move from my seat of my own accord. 3 hours passed. The Swami remained absorbed in deep meditation. It is said that a prayer of an illumined soul never goes unanswered. After 3 hours, the Swami left his seat and attended to his normal business. In a few days, Satadal showed signs of improvement and was on her way to recovery. In a week, she was her normal self again. Swami Saradananda remarked, some words of Sachin created a little doubt in my mind, but the Divine Mother has kindly removed that doubt in her own mysterious way. When Sachin came in with tears in his eyes, said the case was hopeless, I did not know what to say to him. But now, since the clouds have dispersed, I'm convinced that what the Divine Mother showed to me was absolutely true. All things are possible for her to accomplish. Glory be to her. And that is a perfect way to end our reading. That was a gorgeous passage, wasn't it? Okay, that was worth it. All right, yeah, glory to Mother. Okay, so any questions or... It's just fun to just sit with that. It's just really meditate on. So this Saturday, we will have a reading for the Bhagavad Gita at 5 p.m. Swami Vedarupananda will speak on Sunday on the power to be. Saturday, okay, for all those of you who are local, which is like, I know you're out there, we have Karma Yoga Day. Karma Yoga Day is starting at 9:15, and we'll do Getting Ready for Christmas and Holy Mother's Puja on the 22nd of December. Okay, so, and yes, so it's, I think we've done everything. And again, Holy Mother's Puja will be the 22nd, and that will be, you will be able to see that on YouTube. Anything else? Just on YouTube, is that how we run it now?
Yep.
Okay.
For the pujas, because Zoom you can't do it the same.
Oh, can't do so. Okay, so on YouTube. All right, well then we'll end with a chant. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you for joining, everybody. That was really lovely. Loved reading all that. Loved seeing you all. Okay, let's have a good week. Jai Ma.